Good morning, everybody. This is Mikael from Healthwise Enterprise. The health food store is located at 3807 East 8 Mile Road, about 3 blocks west of Ryan, between Ryan and DeQuinda. And we're there to service you 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 10 to 7. You can call us directly at the store at 586-757-DIET. Again, that's 586-757-3438. Our old number still works, 313-366-DIET, or 3438. And if you want to set up a one-on-one with me or share some information with me to share with other folks, you can call me at 313-600-8532. Well, it is November, and so we knew it was coming. That's a good thing, and so we're getting ready for the holiday times. It's one of the funnest times of the season is the holiday times. Just always encourage people to just be careful, don't overdo it. But one of the ladies that volunteer at Healthwise, she got on my case last year because I didn't have enough oxy powder pills the day after Thanksgiving. You're talking about Black Friday. You got to have some oxy powder pills because people consume all that Thanksgiving dinner and the system get all clogged up. They're going to be coming in here wanting some oxy powder pills to get their poisons out, get unclogged, get free flowing again. And so I got plenty right now, and I just ordered some more Monday so we can have hopefully plenty of oxy powder pills on Black Friday to get the poisons out of that colon. Um, just to let folks know. And but speaking about the colon, I ran across this article that I've been wanting to talk about more into, but never got the information like I got from this article, which was talking about the vitamin K2. Okay, and here it's talking about how it helps prevent prostate cancer. And we have a K2 we have at Healthwise, and I have ran across another article which recommended 200 micromilligrams per pill. And of course, like all vitamins, you want to take it with some food on your stomach. In this article, they specifically talk about taking it with some oil. Okay, um, if you get the K2 in the it's an oil-based vitamin. If you get it in the oil form, you just mix it in with your omega-3 oils, and that for sure way you get the absorption of the oil, the omega-3 oils, and the K2. Of course, we have our own uh, omega-3s that has 8 parts of the omegas, and the absorption rate is extremely high. Matter of fact, you can even take it on an empty stomach, which they recommend you take it with um, some um, some food. And the absorption rate, like I said, is extremely high. So taking the K2 with the Salmon Oil Plus would ensure that you get, or I should say, increase the probability of you getting the absorption of the K2 in. Okay. In this article, they lowered the amount from 45 micromilligrams to 185. Okay, but there's no toxic level. In the prevention of cancer, into prevention of prostate cancer, I brought the oxy powder up because when you look at the colon chart, you'll see that at the beginning of the colon, or maybe at the end, at the anus, 2 or 3 inches inside of that is relating to the prostate and to the uterus. And from my training, they say if you clean those areas out, you won't have any problems or health challenges with the prostate. Well, it's one of the easiest areas to get to when you're talking about doing an enema or a colonic. Okay, 2 or 3 inches. Um, because that's what doctors use, is fingers, 2 or 3, inches, and they can feel the prostate. And that area is keeping it clean. I'm heavy into prevention, and using enemas, colonics help keep the area clean. That's one of the easiest areas to get clean. And using the oxy powder now gives your body what it needs to help promote the cleansing, not only just in the area pertaining to the prostate and the vagina, but throughout your whole colon, large and small, liver, kidneys, gallbladder. Somebody said spleen the other day, blood system, lymphatic system, the skin, the lungs. But for any cleanser to work, you have to drink the water based on your body weight. For every 2 pounds you weigh, you should drink in at least 1 ounce of water. So a 200-pound person would need to drink 100 ounces. Now, increased intake of vitamin K2 may reduce the risk of prostate cancer by 35%, according to results of the European Prospective Investigation into Cancer and Nutrition, EPIC, or EPIC. The potential benefits of K2 were most pronounced by the advanced prostate cancer. K1 intake did not offer any prostate benefits. The findings were based on data from more than 11,000 men taking part in the EPIC Hindenburg consort. It adds to a small but ever-growing body of science supporting the potential health benefits of K2 for bones, for your blood, the skin, and now the prostate health. Because, see, K2, I call it the big four. K2, vitamin D3, calcium, and magnesium. They work together so synergistically. And we've been learning that from Dr. Wallach about the bones and the blood, ligaments, okay, your skin. Cartilages. More than 500,000 people worldwide are diagnosed with prostate cancer each year. And it is direct cause of over 200,000 deaths per year. I find it helpful to view the prostate cancer as the male equivalent to breast cancer. Now, when I was talking to Dr. Group, was studying with Dr. Group, he said with the iodine that if women were to take their iodine, and the biggest storehouse of iodine in women is the breast. The second largest storehouse of iodine in women is the ovaries. So I was wondering, what's the largest storehouse of iodine in men? Would it be the prostate? Because he was saying that if women was to take that iodine, it wouldn't be no more marches or runs or walks or wheels or whatever for breast cancer. Because cancer can't grow where there's iodine. And the biggest storehouse in women is in the breast. The conventional treatment for prostate cancer includes surgery to remove the prostate gland or radiation with burning it on out, burn baby burn. However, more recent research has begun to question these radical treatments as they may not be necessary for most men diagnosed with a low grade of the diseases. I've heard from studies that 75% of the hysterectomies in this country is not needed. Two, forgotten vitamins prove critical for cancer reduction and health. One specific treatment for prostate cancer that has been brought to the research forefront is vitamin D3 from sunshine exposure. Another frequent forgotten vitamin besides D3 is K2. According to previous studies, men with high levels of vitamin D3 in their blood will have as likely to develop aggressive forms of prostate cancer as those with lower amounts. Now, Oprah did a study and had folks taking 10,000 IUs of vitamin D3 a day, and nobody reported any toxic level. And the last time I checked, the levels they have in this country, unless they have increased it, is still 400 for children, IUs, 600 for adults, IUs, and 800 for seniors. It's kind of like that vitamin level they have. It's extremely low versus the one they have for animals extremely high. Because, see, the vet has to keep the animals healthy the cheapest way he can, and the cheapest way he can is with vitamins and minerals, not drugs, even though they do both. Another groundbreaking study discovered that correcting vitamin D deficiencies through appropriate sunshine exposure could prevent 600,000 cases of colorectal and breast cancer each year. Worldwide, numerous studies confirm the link between vitamin D3 deficiency and multiple types of cancer. Now, they say sunshine, but who's going to be out in the sunshine exposing 40% of their body for 15 minutes a day or 20 minutes a day when it's 30 degrees outside or 40 degrees outside or even 50 degrees outside? Not too many people. So that's why we got into the vitamin D supplement, where you get D3, 5,000 IUs per pill. And like Oprah had people taking 10,000, which would be 2 pills a day. Likewise, vitamin D has been found beneficial in the fight against various cancers, including liver cancer, colon cancer, stomach cancer, nephrotic cancer of your throat, nasal passages, and the oral cancer. Studies have also suggested K2 may be used therapeutically in the treatment of patients with lung cancer, liver cancer, and leukemia. Vitamin K is vital in heart disease prevention as well because it helps prevent hardening of the arteries, a common risk factor in coronary artery diseases and heart failure. Other beneficial effects of K2 include helping against Alzheimer's disease. Number 2, tropical vitamin K may help reduce bruising. Number 3, may have antioxidant properties. Number 4, strengthen bones. Some studies have actually shown vitamin K2 to be equivalent to Fosamax type osteoporosis drugs. And number 5 is improve the skin. It is such an important vitamin that although I don't typically recommend it adding extra supplements to your diet, says Dr. McCullough, vitamin K is one of the few supplements you should seriously consider because many people don't get nearly enough of it on a daily basis through the food they eat. Although the exact doses is yet to be determined, one vitamin K expert, Dr. C's Vermeer, recommended between 45 micromilligrams and 185 micromilligrams of K2 daily for adults. You must use caution on the higher doses if you are taking anticoagulants, let me see, anticoagulants. Okay. But if you're generally healthy and not on these type of medications, drugs, I suggest 100 micromilligrams of vitamin K2 daily. It is quite likely that doses of several times that amount are safe for the average person, but we are just lacking the research to confirm it at this time. This is highlighted. If you experience stroke, if you have experienced strokes, cardiac arrest, or are prone to blood clotting, don't take vitamin K without consulting your physician first. He highlighted that one. Another important role is that K is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means that dietary fat is necessary for its absorption. One easy way to do this by adding liquid K drops directly into your fish oil. This will ensure that the vitamin K will absorb by your body. Alternatively, you should add it to the other foods that contains healthy fats. Now, I could agree with him on that. Okay. I always encourage people when they take their vitamins that you make sure you take your vitamins and your minerals with a meal. It helps with the absorption. It helps give you that synergy effect. It seems like you get more nourishment out of the foods you eat and the supplements you take when you take them together. To ensure you're getting enough vitamin D3, make it a habit of getting regular sunshine exposure. See, Dr. McCullough lives in Florida, so he can get what he suggested, a minimum of 15 minutes per day with at least 40% of your body uncovered. He can do that all year long. He live in Florida. But us folks in Michigan, we had to take a different approach. We got the vitamin D3 supplements, the vitamin K2 supplements, calcium, magnesium. Okay, come on. Which kind of vitamin K is most beneficial? A lot of researchers focus on the synthetic vitamin K3 taken at high doses. And it is recommended, it is commonly being used with chemotherapy agents for enhanced effectiveness. However, McCullough says, I do not advise using the synthetic vitamin K3, it's man-made, but rather the plant-based vitamin K1 and that bacterially produce vitamin K2. K1 is found in dark green leafy vegetables, makes up about 90% of the K2 in a typical Western diet. The following table lists some vegetable sources of K1 that you should consider eating frequently. Collard greens, spinach, salad greens, kale, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, olive oil, asparagus, okra, green beans, and lentil. I highly recommend the phytofoods. because it has about 25 different foods in it. Now, if there's any K2 in here, I don't see it listed on the package. And none of these greens that was listed in here is in the stabilized greens. The stabilized greens, because it's high chlorophyll content, people have reported great benefits from it. Uh, One second. Yes, caller, you got a question or comment? Hello? Hmm. Well, I don't know what happened. But if you want to call back at 868-0342, 868-0351, or 868-4336, you can. Or afterwards, you want to call me on a cell phone, 313-600-8532, and we could talk then. K2, on the other hand, makes up only about 10% of the Western K consumption. Fermented foods, such as natto, typically have the highest concentration of K found in the human diet and can provide several uh, milligrams of K2 daily. This far exceeds the amount found in dark green vegetables. I don't have any natto at Healthwise, but my wife said she saw some, but from what I heard, I think it's bitter. And I know a lot of folks from the Far East, they eat natto on a regular basis. It's a fermented food, and that's key to enhance your immune system, your guts. And if you enhancing your guts, and it's a close relationship between it, some people call your guts the second brain, it's going to have an effect on your brain. So I can see why they talk about having an effect on Alzheimer's. Because anything that's going to affect your guts is going to affect your brain. Now, K2 concentrations after consumption of natto has been shown to be 10 times higher than that of K1 after eating spinach. Unfortunately, most Americans do not eat many fermented foods. It's extremely important to get fermented foods in your diet every day, preferably with every meal. And some of the most popular ones is what they call sauerkraut and pickles. But there's a lot more. I suggest you Google and to put down fermented foods. If you go to the Mediterranean restaurants, they give you a fermented, what is it's not a beet, but it's purple. It's turnip, and they ferment it, and they give it to you with your dish. Whereas traditionally, that's what they use in the Middle East, and each bite gives you trillions of friendly bacteria for your small intestines. It's a fermented food. It's extremely important. K2 is sensitized by intestinal bacteria and is absorbed from the distal small bowels. Keep in mind that taking antibiotics hamper K2 absorption. So either if you're going to take the antibiotics because of the condition, be careful about taking the K2 because it could be a waste of your money. Natto is such an amazing superfood that I seek to regularly incorporate it into my diet. It's NATTO. How to prevent and treat prostate cancer naturally? In addition to adding K2 to your diet, these helpful tips on prostate cancer prevention and all natural alternative treatment were given to me by former guest commentator Dr. Larry Clapp, author of Prostrate Health in 90 Days Without Drugs or Surgery. But before I get into that, I just wanted to share with you what Wayne, the guy who came up with the Civil Water Program, what he recommended for the prostrate was, of course, the Civil Water Program, which included the Civil Water Stabilized Greens and the oxy powder, the Civil Water, the enzymes, and L-histidine. It's an amino acid, and that he told us that the prostrate, for some reason, like to absorb the metals that you got your lead, you got the mercury from the shots they give us from the chemtrails that's in the air, um, the teeth, they put mercury in that, and then you end up swallowing them on a daily basis. Well, these metals, for some reason, like to accumulate in the prostate gland, cause it to get swelling and out of balance. The mineral L-histidine, he was saying that it directly have an effect of breaking up those toxins in the prostate gland and be flushed out. Now, Dr. Larry Kapp, author of the Prostate Health in 90 Days Without Drugs or Surgery, he recommends one, cleansing past accumulation of toxins in your tissues, your gut and colon with good detox program. Back to what I said at first. The oxy powder is an excellent program as far as detoxing your body. I didn't know it did this because usually people take 4 pills for 7 days, and after that they took 4 pills every other day. Well, we had a officer. He had been eating donuts, which is gluten foods, because Latin gluten is a Latin word for glue, and he wanted to get rid of this pouch. So he took 5 oxy powder every day for 30 days straight, and lost 30 pounds from his colon. You could see it when he walked in. He had another guy. He had polyps. It's little polyps protruding from their colon, some in, some out. And we recommend people, like I said in the literature, take 4 pills a day for 7 days, and after that you take 4 pills every other day. Well, his wife told him to take 4 pills every day regardless. And in 30 days, all those polyps were gone. It's amazing. Oxy powder is no joke. It's part of the cleansing of like I said, the tissues and the guts and your colon. Remember, 98% of our diseases originate in the colon. Cleanse your mouth of written infections such as root canals, algorithms, fillings, the mercury fillings, delay and gum infections. We got this new black toothpaste powder, and we've been carrying it for 2 or 3 years, but about a year ago they introduced it to a black toothpaste, okay? And it goes, ooh, we get 12 of those and versus 12 of the powder, and we may sell 1 or 2 powders in all 12 of the toothpaste. People just, I guess, conditioned for the toothpaste. It's so clean that when you get to brushing your teeth, you can actually swallow the contents if you want. I mention that because of all the, charcoal that's in this toothpaste and tooth powder. It is coating the stomach, and charcoal helps with the pulling toxins out of your body. And that's one of the criteria they use for buying tooth powders or toothpaste. Is it safe enough to swallow? Because if you look on those toothpaste tubes, it tell you can brush your teeth with it, but don't swallow. I'm not putting nothing in my mouth that tell you don't swallow. Okay, that's simple. I'm not gonna brush my teeth with it neither, because there's no way you can not get some of that into your stomach. And remember, it's a whole lot easier to prevent a disease than to get one and try to get rid of it. So clean your mouth of hidden infections from root canals, fillings, decay, and gum infections. Then chelate mercury from your body naturally, because you don't want to pull these toxins out too fast. But the oxy powder, the iodine is one of the ways to ease the poisons out of your system without having this cleansing response. Well, cleansing response where you something like you may have diarrhea or you get poisons come out through your skin because your biggest elimination organ is your skin. But taking the food grade hyperoxide bath help pulls those poisons out. Dry skin brushing help pulls the poisons out. Avoid as many toxins as possible, as your prostate was designed by nature to filter toxins from your semen. That was news to me. The main reason God gave men prostate was to filter toxins from the semen. Now we hear over and over again that the semen is less and less. The sperm uh, um, is less and less. It used to be 100,000 from a young man. Now it's down to 5,000. You know, the chlorine, the fluoride, the borine has a direct effect on the sterilizations of men and women. The plastics has is has estrogen in it, and is one of the main attacks on the prostate. It's estrogen, and people drinking bottled water. When on the bottled water, it's a grade 1, and that cheap plastic has estrogen in it, plus microfibric plastics. Okay. All types must be eliminated. These need to be eliminated and must be eliminated. High uh, glycinate carbohydrates such as sugar, especially high fructose corn syrup, pasta, potatoes, breads, and most grains. Remember, they used to have iodine in the bread, but in the 60s he took that out and put bromine in it, and that helps to calcify the pineal gland, pituitary gland, like the fluorine and chloride. So now you got it in your water and in your bread. One of the first things they suggest is not eating that bread. Now, I don't know if that's in gluten-free breads or not, but I would recommend gluten-free breads. Second thing is cut out all milks and cheeses, pasteurized dairy, conventional grains, and chemical-fed animals. So you want to look for the grass-fed animals. And if you can't find them, can't Google and find them, is an option people have used. I used it for my father one time. And to clean his chickens with the food grade hyperoxide. Now the water looked like the dirtiest dishpan water I've ever seen, but the chickens, from all accounts, tastes so good. People have soaked their turkey legs and poured those poisons out where the husband called the wife at halftime, at lunchtime, say, what did you do to this turkey? Soaking the whole turkey in 3% food grade hydrogen peroxide before Thanksgiving. Ah, you just may be amazed at how good that turkey gonna taste once you get those pesticides and herbicides and nitrates and nitrites out of that turkey. But they probably got some grass-fed turkeys coming up. But if you don't, I would highly recommend you can get some food grade hydrogen peroxide, preferably to 35%, dilute it down to 3%, throw out that turkey and soak it for at least a half hour in the refrigerator. And you want to have it below the water surface. Wouldn't hurt to probably do it longer. But anyway, had to be careful. Number 3 type of food it wants you to completely cut out is the pasteurized dairy products, the milks and cheeses. Number 3, conventional grains and chemical fed animals. Number 4, most fish, due to the high levels of mercury and PCB contamination that's in the fish. The exception right now will be the wild caught sockeye salmon, and then the wild caught salmon, and then the sockeye salmon, because they are closer up to an Atlantic, fish from the Atlantic, since that radiation was dumped into the Pacific Ocean from Japan several years ago. The, it's kind of tight on dealing with the fish. But again, you have that option of taking the fish and soaking in that 3% food grade hydrogen peroxide to get, hopefully, this mercury, PCB, and a whole bunch of other chemicals that the fish are swimming in now. And the plastics they are eating. Also, you want to incorporate a natural lipotine foods, such as tomatoes, raspberry, watermelon. It's like the red foods, huh? I guess would be here. The 4th thing would be the red cabbage, but they just said cabbage foods, such as broccoli and broccoli sprouts, to help control excess estrogen, the real enemy of the prostate. Estrogen. You get that when you drink that water bottles. On the bottom of the bottle, it has a triangle, and in that triangle, there's a 1. When you drink that water, you get estrogen into your body, because they make those plastic bottles with horse urine, which is loaded with estrogen. The real enemy of the prostate is estrogen that you get from soy products. So be careful. But lo and behold, you got the oxy powder, help pull those poisons out of that prostate gland and throughout your whole body, and that iodine to help pull those poisons out of your body. Now, the bare minimum they recommend when you take the iodine, if you choose to, is take it with the mineral selenium, which Dr. Wallach has proved through his scientific research gets rid of cancer. It helps with the absorption of the iodine taken with the bare minimum selenium. Ideally, you want to take it with all Dr. Wallach's minerals and trace minerals, which is about 100 and it's about 77 of them. Now, that reassures the absorption of the iodine is going to be high. taking it with DOS flakes, which is a food source of iodine. Okay, with all the trace minerals already mixed in based on God, His formula. Got to be careful. Now, these foods that you want to incorporate, besides the tomato, raspberry, and watermelon, those red foods, cabbage, family foods such as broccoli and broccoli sprouts to help control excess estrogen, the real enemy of the prostrate. Wow. Another thing you want to incorporate, I think is number two. Well, he just says take a high quality of fish oil with vitamin E to rebuild omega 3 fat levels, which are deficient in most people and the majority cause of inflammation and diseases. Now, if omega 3 doing all of that, and here we got omega 3 in 8 different levels, I can imagine what it's doing. The absorption rate is extremely high. I can imagine what it's preventing in the people who take the salmon oil plus and the results that they're getting. It's a food that we need every day. It's essential, not optional. He suggests to get a full body of sun exposure whenever possible to increase the vitamin D level, which needs to be tested regularly. Avoid biopsies, which can permanently damage the prostate and can spread or cause cancer. Whoa. Biopsy cause cancer? Or they say it can cause cancer, can spread and cause cancer. A biopsy for the prostate. Biopsies, avoid biopsies, which permanently damage the prostate and can spread or cause cancer. Have a far more reliable, non-invasive powdered colon dropper sonogram. Power, color, duper, sonogram. Power, color, and then DOPPLER, duper, and sonogram, SONOGRAMS. Had it power, color, duper, sonogram of your prostate done by Robert Nard, MD, in New York City. He got a website down here, www.cancerscan.com. Or other qualified radiologists, PCD, is the first line of diagnosis in other countries. They do this in other countries, this PCD. But is not sanctioned by the American urologists, so it is difficult to find. But they use it, and it's a whole lot better than the biopsies, which permanently damage the prostate gland and can spread and cause cancer. So that's it on that. Yeah, not gonna go into that. The other part about the iodine, I rushed in here. I actually had plenty of time. Something told me to bring my book, my whole case, but it didn't. And in that, it had the other part of that iodine report that I wanted to give you. So today, have some help at Healthwise. I'm gonna see if I can write it all out. So you have part one and part two in a report about the harmful effects of iodine and the benefits. It is truly, truly doing what they say to do. I'm feeling it. I'm loving it. I even started taking DOS flakes because I would take it sporadically, but I take it on a regular basis now. Still take the iodine. Okay, we rub it on our belly. Okay, or take it underneath our tongue. Or make sure you take it with plenty of water or some food on your uh, on your belly. Okay, it's it's so so many different benefits. Um, like if you're having a hard time losing weight because your metabolism slowed down, this report is because of iodine, because of the lack of iodine. Um, got brain fog, lack of iodine. Um, what were some of the other ones? It's you have because I'm having a brain fog now, huh? Your energy level is low. One thing I liked about it is they promised that the iodine could raise your IQ. Now, that is definitely ahead of its time. Because we've always heard that, like they say, dementia and Alzheimer's, once you get it, you can't get rid of it. Or that your brain has only so many cells and you can't improve in it. But through research from the awakening from Alzheimer's, they proved that's not the case. Your brain produces new cells, just like all the other organs and glands in your body produce new cells based on the nourishment that you give it. The chlorine, the fluoride, and bromine help calcifies that pineal gland, and the iodine helps to decalcify. See, those drugs that they put in the water that tell you to clean the water is real, the molecular structure is real close to iodine. So your body rapidly absorbs it and it ends up calcifying your brain, shut your brain down. Or common sense ain't common. And it's hard to see the obvious. But when you start getting the iodine in and breaking up that condition, these other, and the energy level increases. There's so many health benefits from getting iodine into your system. The, the minimum is you're going to take the iodine and take it with at least this one mineral called selenium. The one we got now is 200 micromilligrams and taking it with the iodine. It's ideal you want to take it with Dr. Wallach's Ultimate Classic because you got 77 trace minerals in that. So you get plenty of minerals to help with the absorption of the iodine. Another source is the Aquaman Boost, where you put into your water, a teaspoon into your water, all right? And a teaspoon into a gallon of water. In that, you get anywhere from 120 to 144 trace minerals based on some of the reports and classes that I've taken. Um, and like I say, those are, like I say, some of the benefits. There's a whole lot more. I made a list. And pregnant woman, ooh, you definitely want to take iodine based on this report. It's safe for children. We had this one child drank the whole bottle of iodine and never suffered anything. I can't think of a drug anywhere where a child would take the whole bottle and not die. But that's how safe it is. Got to protect your prostate. Water, water, water. I can't say enough of that. Your water that we have at Healthwise, um, because of the high oxygen content in it, helps with the absorption of your colon cleansers, helps with the absorption of your other supplements, help with the absorption of all your food. And the oxygen content, because we know that we are under siege when they're attacking our food and the air and the water and the electromagnetic fields from the cell phones. Taking that water helps to neutralize that attack. Getting the plugs into your house, put your whole home in a protective shell. Because some people just get the dial and they put that little dial on the cell phone and it help protects against the radiation from the cell phone. The method we use protects your cell phone, and you can put your phone next to a million other phones and it will protect those phones. And we always encourage people to do it with people who have children, because the electromagnetic field interferes, which is the radiation coming from the phone, it interferes with a child's development. Even with a pregnant woman, have to be careful of that electromagnetic field. And luckily we have things to neutralize that. I just want to thank God for allowing us to do the things that we love to do, which is empower our people with this information so they don't have to suffer, and their family and friends don't have to suffer from these diseases. And they changing their mindsets and not thinking when they get 50, 60, 70, 80, or 90, they think you got to be old with diseases because everybody else in the family did it. If everybody do the same thing, they're going to get the same results. But if you be bold enough and have the faith of mustard seed, it could change your life around and everybody behind you, all your children, all your nieces, all your nephews. Because people do more about change based on what you do more so than what you say. So if you're going to be a living example of living healthy, you don't have to beat them up. Just show up and drop it like it's hot and get back up. See, the prevention to me has always been the key. So one of my favorite subject matters has always been the colon, because I started this off 50 years ago when I was 18. That 98% of all diseases originate in the colon. I say, well, hey, that's easy enough. Do what I can to keep that colon cleansing. So I took Facilin Husk, Cascade Scarata, what you call it, black walnut, to get the colon out. And get the colon poisons out. Get the poisons out of my colon. I did that up until the 80s when I got introduced to the enemas and colonics. Whoa. And it made such a big difference in my overall health. Not to be bragging, but to but to press upon you that if I can do it, you can do it, because we made up the same. And we can get the poisons out. We don't have to suffer from these diseases, this attack. There's no question that it's there. And it's so big we can't do nothing about it. We can pray about it. like pray they they stop poisoning the oceans with plastics. You know, I've learned that in 30 years, it'd be more plastic in the ocean than it is fish. Well, if the fish is eating and living in the plastics, well, we're going to be consuming plastics. Well, people are already consuming plastics. It's another reason why oxy powder help get those plastic microfibers of plastics out of your body because they can't be good. I was watching the Good Doctor the other day, and this one little girl was constantly sick, and the parents, because they had split up and they was always arguing, they was thinking because it was because of them that she was made up these sicknesses so they could come together. But after several years, and she kept getting sick, the doctor, the good doctor, decided to do an open surgery and found a piece of plastic that the girl had swallowed when she was a child, and it was causing just sickness where she was spitting up blood, and just a whole list of sicknesses from the plastic that had lodged in her lungs. They are, yes, consuming plastic is deadly. Getting the oxy powder is like a must to get those poisons out. Because on the other side of cold and water is your blood system. And so if you getting tired, it might be your body is detoxifying. So to aid your body to get the poisons out, oxy powder in water. Oxy powder in water. Thanks for tuning in and supporting us, and most of all, sharing the information with other family members and getting the 5 hugs. All right, y'all. Peace and love.